So just a really quick video on potential secondary missions. It's really just to get your mind going. The world is your oyster in terms of what you can come up with. I'd recommend looking at uh, actual space missions and seeing what has already been done or what they would like to do or what they are in the progress of trying to do. Now, obviously, we don't have the whole of NASA behind us, so we are limited. But at the same time, it's nice to have an idea of potential missions that we could try out. So a couple of these would be perhaps extra sensors in here for measuring oxygen, signs of life, water, signs of life in an atmosphere, um, carbon dioxide, another one that you could have a sensor in there. GPS location, a module that would sit on top of the Arduino that would allow it to be located, which from experience in Portugal, it would be very handy to have. You could have a buzzer. We had a buzzer that we could turn on and off. And that brings me to another whole separate secondary mission, the ability to have two-way communication between the ground station and the can, so that you can actually, as the can is falling, you can tell it to do things. We could tell it to, I think it was to turn on and off a buzzer, which is handy for when it lands. If you're trying to locate it, you can actually still communicate with the can and say, turn on the buzzer so we can find you, turn on a light, or even react to various pieces of information from the sensors and be able to tell it to do something based on that. Now, again, that would then link into also the idea of having a controlled landing, because if you can communicate two-way with the can, you can react to what's happening visually, what you can see, and also maybe what certain sensors, for example, accelerometers or G-force sensors are telling you. And you can get the can to do things while it's in the air. One such might be to control the shroud lines and have motors and be able to control the landing or control the direction that the can is going in. So solar panels was another one to be able to measure the solar energy so that the can, when it actually lands, obviously the battery is going to run out. So if you have a rechargeable battery that can actually recharge itself by solar power, that would be fantastic. The can could have wheels on it so that when it does get to the ground, it could travel around and take various measurements. Really anything that strikes you as being a useful function for a CANSAT. Think about it and see how practical it is. And you may be asked that as well when we're trying to interview for teams initially to pick for the CANSAT team in Confi. So, we like to see that you've thought about it and maybe read up a bit on space missions and so on, and have an idea of what you might like to try and implement as a secondary mission.